Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the temple. I'm Erin Suniva, your high priestess today, and we are here to celebrate Lunasa. We are here to celebrate all of the beauty that we have been cultivating in this year so far. We've been creating for ourselves and to allow ourselves an opportunity to reflect, remember, and move forward in a really beautiful way. So, I have not really prepared much because I really appreciate the oracle. I really appreciate the channel. And so let's enter this sacred space together. Hello, Donna. So glad that you're here. So, as we enter this temple, I welcome the presence of our highest selves. I welcome the presence of the highest consciousness into this space, highest love, highest compassion. I ask for the divine to hold us in the light today. I welcome the benevolent teachers and weavers of the divine plan to grace this space, to support the expansion and the sharing of spiritual experience and education. This is the place where we witness the work that we talk about, where we can be present for the unfolding of hearts returning to their true medicine. You may be called to this space today because you are seeking connection to your divinity, or you are seeking a space where you can truly dive into your inherent perfection, remember how to heal, and walk the path of love, and to participate especially in the restoration of the divine plan on earth. And so it is. Hello, Charisse. Welcome, 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 everyone. So glad that you're here. Let's do a little meditation to help us connect well. And I invite you, if you're not driving or doing moving heavy machinery, to close your eyes with me. And breathe into the center of your heart. Come into an awareness of the energy that is pulsating here at the center. And we bring our attention here in the center of the heart into the 0 point place where love, source, pure, radiant light pours through. This is the source of our being, our energy, the center vortex of our toroidal field. In this place, there is a sacred fire, the heart fire. I welcome you to witness, notice the blue flame of Sophia, the emerald crystal heart flame, the white Christed flame, and the triple solar dragon flame. And we follow that golden dragon flame, follow it all the way up to the sun. See your intrinsic, infinite connection to our solar deity, our divine masculine energetic support, masculine love, paternal guidance and protection that we receive from the sun, the nourishment, the nutrients that we receive from the true sun. Just breathe that in through your central channel, through your cord, seeing the sun above you, feeling that golden light, paternal, fraternal, masculine love coming down and pouring into you. And now allow that emerald heart, that emerald diamond That flame to now travel down through the center of your channel, deep down into the earth, connecting to the earth's emerald crystal heart. And feel that radiant connection from the mother, from divine Gaia, how she also is nourishing, replenishing, reviving us daily. And even in all of her movement and shaking, that she is constantly loving, constantly lifting us up. And the purity of the emerald flame keeps us in that openness, keeps us in that heart-centered alignment with the mother. And so you'll see the green and the gold and also intermingling. You can send that emerald color up to spiral up to the sun and participate in the love affair between the sun and the earth, and watch the golden light spiral down through your center, connecting with the earth's emerald crystal heart. Good. So, my friends, wherever you are on the planet, you are connected to everything. And Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, we are in a powerful moment that is the midway point between the solstice and the equinox. And so for our friends in the Southern Hemisphere, we've got Sister Charisse is here. She's in South Africa. So for her and our friends all in the South America, other sub-Ecuadorian Africa, and South Asia, Australia, New Zealand, they are all in the place of connecting to Imbolc. So connecting to the awakening in winter, the stirring of the earth. So we have this very poignant ebb and flow that happens with nature while the north turns towards the sun and the south turns away from the sun. We are in this sharing of the energies. And so here we are in the fruitfulness. And for those in the south, they are in the deep hibernation, but the slight stirring, right? And the preparing, the planning of the garden, as I like to say. I really love the metaphor of the garden for the wheel of the year. The wheel of the year being the natural cycles, the solstices and equinox, and the cross-quarter holidays in between. And these cross-quarter holidays are really, really important, really, really valuable. Because when we connect to these cycles, when we are in tune with nature, we have healthier lives. We have healthier rhythms, right? We're able to really flow with the medicine of the moment. So forgive me to my friends in the South, I'm going to now focus on the North, as you do, where you live, right? And we're going to focus on what this time is of Lunasa. And Lunasa is the Gaelic word for this time that is the celebration of the god Lu. And Lu means light, L-U-G-H. And so Lu, ancestrally, anciently was the god of fire and flame and light, and there's always this beautiful dance with Lu. So Lu is very much a part of every festival, in the form of fire, right? So no matter where we are on the wheel of the year, Lu is present in one way or another. but this is the height of his energy, the height of summer, right? We are in this place where we're actually harvesting. So this is also the time where the grain mother arrives, right? We planted long ago, many months ago, we planted our wheat and our corn and our grains and our food. And so the grain mother, it arrives with the height of the grains, with the height of the wheat and the barley. And so, okay, I won't forget the oats and the oats. and so there's just this really potent gift that is here for us to really honor what we have created, whether that is literally in the garden or in our lives. So I invite you in this moment to just take a few minutes to reflect. What was I planting in the winter? What was I intending for my year? And maybe you chose a word for your year. A lot of people are doing that, and so it becomes a theme. And watch out what words you pick, right? So just this incredibly valuable sense of I am creating. What am I creating? And what have I created from my intentions at winter, right? So I want to show you. I brought some of my harvest. My crazy onions. So I want to share with you and just speak about gratitude. So I planted a lot of cilantro and of course it bolted. But oh my goodness, what is so incredibly valuable, that cilantro is so good. And I'm just going to speak with so much love and gratitude for the herbs. Wow, I have so much, I almost want to cry. I love this plant so much. And it's funny because I used to hate cilantro. And I know that there are people out there who think that it tastes like soap. And that was totally me for a long time. I don't even remember when my taste buds changed, but I love cilantro now. And it might be because I also know how good it is for us. So cilantro itself is a heavy metal cleanser. It actually binds to the heavy metals to help carry them out of our bodies. So a great way to eat cilantro without having to actually taste it is to add it to your pesto. So if you are making a basil-based pesto, you can cut half of it with cilantro. If you don't have a lot of basil, you can put cilantro in there. It won't taste like cilantro. It will taste like your pesto. You can do this with a lot of different greens, actually. And it's a great way to get your kids to receive a lot of vitamins and nutrients from fresh herbs. But what's even more magical are the seeds. Okay, so these are post flower. Okay, so hi Amanda. So as these bolt, right, it gets too hot for the cilantro. My cilantro is thriving and it gets 12 hours, maybe 10, well, okay, maybe less than that, maybe at least 6 to 8 hours of sun. And I'm amazed that it's still thriving, but half of it has bolted. And I'm grateful for that as well. And grateful for my own awareness that curcumin is incredibly good for us. So you will actually find that there are medicines that are made from the seed of cilantro. And we refer to it as curcumin. Also really good for the heavy metals, but we have these little pods, and this is my first, time with them. And what you can do is, oh, I dropped that one and lost it. Okay. So what you can do is let them dry. And so you pull off all of the little seed pods and you let them dry. And I'm wondering, because this is my first time and I have not studied this, and I really love to learn through experience, but I'm wondering if I can break open this little pod, what it looks like on the inside. Okay. So it just looks like there's not a seed that's going to separate from this. So this is our seed pod. So if you know, oh, I have little bugs. Okay. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm gonna put you over there. All right. So I had an inclination to kill the pincher bug, and I could hear my husband saying, "No, they're so important." So I'm going to be collecting all of these seed pods, and some of the seeds have already dropped, and so it's propagating itself, right? So it's going to reseed. It's a perennial. And I'm going to collect these seeds. And when they're dry, I'm going to grind them up and have little curcumin capsules for when I need curcumin. I also have lovely cucumbers. I have a couple of cucumber plants, one that is super happy and thriving and one that is not. I had a lot of onions. I did not bring many onions up here, but I had red ones and white ones. And this was from last year. So I also have a bunch of onion seeds here, which I will remove and dry. Oh, there's another little bug in there. I'm going to tap it out the window. So go on. Okay. So we the thing about seeds is that they do have to dry, and I'm learning about all of the ways, like tomato seeds. There's certain ways to harvest tomato seeds, but these onion seeds have multiple seeds in one pod. See if that will focus on you. Can you see it? So there's multiple pods in there. There you go. Multiple seeds. Look, I still have dirt under my nails. So it's just so fun to yes, I have, first of all, I can eat this whole part plus the bulb, right? And I have seeds for next year, as well as this beauty who is still whole, right? And it just brings me so much joy to be like, I did this. I did this, I'm a novice. I'm a brand new gardener. This is probably my 4th year actually having a garden. And this is my first year of having a successful garden. So consider that as the metaphor as well. It takes time for us to develop. It takes time for us to learn about ourselves, about life in general, through trial and error, right? Through study and practice. And whether this is, in the beautiful metaphor of the garden. Here's some of my coneflower or echinacea. I have a giant echinacea that's bigger than my kids. Like this, My medicine is here, right? The work that I've done, the energy that I have been cultivating, it's feeding my family. It's providing medicine for myself and my family. If my child hurts himself, just about a month ago, my son got bit by a wasp. And so I went to just out into the yard and I grabbed, what was it? Because I didn't have plantain. What did I grab? Oh, no, I can't remember. I grabbed something. Um, and it was the yellow dock. So I had plenty of yellow dock in the garden. And you probably too have yellow dock. It's bolted by now. It's probably flowered. But these huge wide leaves, and they grow everywhere. They grow everywhere. It was yarrow. It was yarrow. Good one. It was yarrow. So what I did was I just took the leaves of the yarrow and I chewed them and I created a poultice, just a little poultice, put it over, good one, Donna. I put it over the bite because he had a yellow jacket bite, and then a Band-Aid over it. He completely forgot about it. He was hysterical, right? Of course, he had been hitting the container where the wasps were. And so I'm like, don't do that. They won't bother you if you don't bother them. So yes, yarrow, thank you. So he totally forgot about it. A couple hours later, we took off the Band-Aid, and guess what? There wasn't even a mark. You couldn't even tell. Now, how many times have you received a sting or a bite from a bee that maybe even, welted or, just hurt for a very long time? Also, in the last photo shoot that I did, you've seen pictures from this photo shoot, I got stung on my back. And we were at my friend's in my friend's backyard in her amazing garden, and she's an herbalist and a shaman, and she's like, oh, don't worry. She reached down, she had plantain in the yard, just it grows in the grass. It's so good for our medicine is everywhere, you guys. So she just reached down, chewed the plantain, and she just handed it to me, and I put it on the spot. I just held it there for 2 minutes. That was it. The pain immediately subsided, and there was no spot, no stinger, nothing. So it doesn't have to be plantain. It doesn't have to be yarrow. There are a lot of different plants that are just naturally around us, including wild lettuce that looks like a crazy gnarly weed and scary and spiky, and it's incredibly good for us. But we don't know that because we've been trained to think that a good yard is just grass. And we've actually been poisoning the planet with that mindset that comes from French aristocracy, you guys. Come on. So we have a lot to be grateful for just on the planet, just naturally, that we don't have to work for, that the plants just arrive. So let's give more gratitude to my potatoes. And my tomatoes. I have probably 200 cherry tomatoes that are coming, and they're like candy. They're like candy. So my son and I go out every morning. We're the first ones to wake up. He and I have the same clock. My husband and our daughter sleep as long as possible. And he loves it. It's our morning ritual. We go out and he collects the tomatoes. And I've been working the garden, pulling the pieces, all of the onions and the potatoes that are done so that I can plant my fall garden. So this is also the first time that I'm planting a fall garden. And with this, I'm continuing the harvest. I'm continuing the medicine, right? Further into the year. Our first frost in Colorado is sometime in October. And what my computer's kind of freaking out on me. What's that? So I'm really excited to plant another round. And here I am preparing for my gardening time tomorrow. What are these? You know what these are. These are peas. These are delicious snap peas. And I'm really so grateful for the snap peas. They don't make it into the house. When this plant fruits, we just stand in the garden and eat snap peas, me and the kids. This is the power of being in tune with nature. Not just not just being able to garden or to have, be able to learn how to feed ourselves, but the beauty and the ritual of being present with your children, with the fruits of your labor. My children have tomato skin stuck in the back of my throat. And here's the thing, I'm sensitive to tomatoes. But only let's think about that. Why? Tomatoes are a nightshade. Tomatoes are acidic, right? But when you eat them fresh, right off of the plant, they are filled with the highest, especially if they're completely red. This is still a little bit orange. He was very eager to pull some that they're still even a little bit green. But when you eat them, you get a ton amount of antioxidants. And the antioxidants that are in tomatoes are gone by the time you get them from the grocery store. So this is the power of our food. This is the power of connection. Hi, Pamela. This is the power also of our connection to each other. My children watched me build that garden. Watch the hard work that myself and my husband put into it. They helped plant the seeds, put the seeds in, transfer the plants. My son loves to help me kill the grasshoppers now, and just the joy of standing in the garden and eating the fruits of our labors. It's healing. It's healing. So it's a little bit hard to pull the onions out of the ground. I should have wet the ground first. So I damaged a few of them with my tool. I'm learning. I'm learning. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus now on the second harvest. What is the energy of the second harvest? And especially considering what we as a collective are going through right now, right? So let's consider the state of the world. Let's consider tomato skins. Let's consider what we desire to create. When we connect to our seeds, we are connecting to Gaia. We are connecting to our own spirit. We are connecting to our ancestors. These seeds are here not just because of propagation, not just because of agriculture, but because our ancestors thrived by feeding themselves and saving seeds, right? We have a responsibility, my friends, to know how to propagate and save seeds. We have a responsibility to our descendants, to the future, to know how to save seeds, right? We have an incredible obligation to the future of humanity to teach the next generation, right? So I'm seeing so many people who are in the position of just two generations, but I mean, all of us, really, the majority of us, two generations back, were totally, maybe not two, maybe three generations back, were almost majorly self-sustained. Everyone had a garden. Everyone was saving seeds. Everyone was preserving their food. Everyone knew, and they were also sharing, bartering, right? Remember the story of stone soup. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't. The story or the allegory of stone soup is the power of community. And so there was, I'll tell it in the way I want to tell it. So there was a woman who was hungry and she was out of food. And so she invited her community to bring what they had. Like everybody had something, but not enough to maybe have a full meal. Or it's like, this family, they grew really good cabbage, and this family over here, they grew really good carrots. And everybody had their part. And so the one woman invited everyone to come make a communal meal. And she said, I've got stones. So I'm going to put my stones in the soup, in the water. And then everyone else brought what they had, which wasn't enough to share with everyone. But when they put it into the soup, they were making something bigger. And this is the medicine. This is the energy of what is needed in communities, that we all have. And I really do feel like we might be forced back into this reality of, you have a purpose that serves your community. Another person has a purpose that serves the community in a different way, that fulfills a need. We all come together fulfilling different needs, right? And so our community harvest, our community soup, our hardiness comes from the fact that everyone has shared what they have in order to offer to the whole. So even if I only have one head of cabbage, my one head of cabbage is not going to feed 100 people, but it's going to add a large amount of nourishment to this communal soup that other people are just bringing what they have. But when we bring what we have to each other, to the group, to the community, we each have a lot. We have so much. And this is, it's in our bones, this way of living, this tribal village, communities, whatever phrasing or words that you want to use about this. It's all the same. When we share what we have, we each have more. And so let's thrive in the bounty. And so what I want to do with these peas is I want to pray with them. I'm going to ask you to pray with me over these seeds, into the water, to give them the message, the intention, the very important presence of my being, to participate in creating a better world, a peaceful world, a balanced world, a delicious world, right? So let us. Oh, my hair keeps going in my armpit. Can you see them? Yes. Okay. Hmm. So much love and gratitude to the earth for all that you give us, all that you provide. I can smell the life, the germination. It's so powerful. Divine Mother, Mother Gaia, Madre Tierra, I place intentions into these seeds today, into these peas, into this beautiful food that will nourish myself and my family and my future. These seeds, these peas are symbolic in nature. They are symbolic for the world on a whole, for my relationship to it. I pray. Divine Mother, I pray for the nourishment of all of humanity. I pray for the deep connections to nature and each other. I pray for the softening of hearts, for the opening of the awareness of the need to connect to the earth, of the desire to be in tune with your cycles, Mother. I welcome into these peas my divine love. I intend that the love of my heart that is pouring into this water and into these peas, by placing these seeds into the earth, I am sharing them with the entire world. My prayers of peace, my prayers of protection over all of the children of the planet, my prayers of nourishment and connection, of breaking down the walls between us, the division, the separation, so that we can return to seeing each other as family, one human family. No matter what we look like, act like, or feel like, that we know that we are all connected, that we are all one organism, and that we are all divinely, intrinsically in tune with earth, with life, with the elements, with the sun, with the universe. And I welcome the divine light to come into these seeds. They already feel so divine, so important, so valuable. But I ask for the blessing of the Mother to pour into these seeds that will be shared with humanity, her endless love, her healing power, her protection and support and renewal. Halhorro yedidia vasasho koto yelar yedidia masafari yale. Alar yedidia moko sotifal har yedidia moko yelar kalediama. Ki walar yedidia masoto yemakalar yedidia sashianta kamoy. Haka satoko yemalia halar kadia mako soto. Thank you. And now with song. Whew. Hmm. Open, open, open the hearts of all beings on earth. Open, open, open the hearts of all beings on earth. May we walk in beauty. May we live in peace. May we fill our lives with connection. Holy Mother, we call to you for your natural healing, for your love we remain true. Holy earth, receive my prayers. Holy Mother, grateful you are here. Fill these seeds with love for all to receive. From my heart to infinity, and so it is. And so it is. Ooh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, whether or not you are a pagan, you are connected to the earth. Whether you realize it or not, you are part of the earth. When you allow yourself to have a relationship with the earth, to communicate, talk to the plants around you, receive their love, their appreciation for you, you develop a new consciousness within yourself. Hi, Ted. Hello, my dear friend. Hello. So we really do, my opinion, my feeling, we really do have a responsibility to be in direct connection, relationship with the planet. We have prophecy that is seemingly forcing us into this position. The way that we heal, the way that humanity heals, the way that we are going to thrive and, hi Maria, continue healthfully on the planet is by being directly connected with her, with nature, with her cycles, with her medicine. This is what spirit is asking of us. This is what is actually going to happen, whether you like it or not. So you might as well make it easy on yourself and start now. And if you don't have a yard, you can get a pot. And you can just start with a flower pot, right? And plant your seeds in there. And maybe just start with herbs, something that can really support you and nourish you in a really simple way. And just by adding the herbs, fresh herbs to your food, you are giving yourself, feeding yourself medicine, whether it's cilantro or onions or, oregano, whatever it is, dill. These are medicines, they're good for you. And the more that you have fresh herbs on a daily basis, you will maintain the mineralization that your body needs. So talk to your plants, talk to your seeds, right? Have a relationship with the earth. And when you do, you will receive more and more blessings. You will receive, it's like the more that I allowed myself to be still and be with my garden, it feels like the more it provides, So happy Lunasa, happy Imbolc for my Southerners, happy harvest. And so let's say that you don't have anything to harvest physically, right? So let's return to that metaphor of, and I would love to hear in the comments from all of you beautiful people who are here, what are you cultivating right now that you have created, whether it was just this year that you planted this winter in yourself, or the past few years, something that you have been working towards that has manifested? I would really love to know how you are aware of what you have created and what you are cultivating within yourself. One of the very obvious things for myself is is the annual trip to France, the annual pilgrimage of taking beautiful souls back for their healing, back for their spiritual return, part of their awakening, that soul recall that can happen in places that you may or may not have lived before, but that have been incredibly powerful spiritual places on the planet. And I know that this is something I've been working on since January, since before Imbolc, right? But that is so valuable and important to me. And I have a lot of other things that I want to work on and I want to create and I want to grow with. And I feel that there are things that are churning that take longer than just 6 or 9 months to manifest, right? And so the seeds that are, planted in myself are moving, they're growing, they're still, maybe some of them are still gestating in a way, right? Ted says, I've been working on giving myself permission to express my gratitude without inner judgment. Bless it. That is gorgeous. Just straightforward gratitude. And you know what? We are not, I feel like as a collective, we're not really raised in a sense to be very forthright with our gratitude all the time, right? It's something that we have to realize, oh, the more gratitude I have, the more blessings I can count, right? So it's like the more, I just squeezed one of the curcumin, the cilantro seeds. Oh, it smells so good. It's so wonderful, Ted. I'm so glad for you. Donna says, saving and defending my many plants, lamb's quarters, curly dock, wood sorrel, plantain, mint, and many more. against the mower. Oh, I love that. And I love it also that, there's this, this dichotomy, there's this duality that we have to work with, right? Of like that, as I said before, the French aristocracy that created the lawn, right? And how ridiculous is the lawn? And even now more than ever, because people are filling their lawns with pesticides and toxins. And it's so heartbreaking. I live in an HOA and they totally spray all of the greens around the place and all of the parks and stuff. And it's so saddening. And just to think that, like, wait, my animals and my children cannot go play in the park because you stupid people are, like literally killing the pollinators, right? And why are they spraying the grass? Because they don't want dandelions. Dandelions are the first food for the pollinators. They need the dandelions to survive. And the dandelions, like, talk about medicine, right? Like, the best thing for your liver in the world is a dandelion. So isn't it interesting that people actually get angry about the presence of dandelions? Isn't that ironic? I think that is literally the definition of irony. I have lived next to people who have yelled at me for letting my dandelions bloom, right? I would try and get them before they would go to seed, or I would grab the seeds with a wet towel or something just so, they wouldn't see them going to seed. But and I just remember being like, if you only knew what dandelions are good for, and you're over there literally getting angry about them. So a good thing to remember is that the medicine that you need grows around you. So I noticed that I had a lot of wild lettuce, right? And I actually let it grow because I planned on creating the syrup that you can create from it that is a sedative. It's great for so what you do with wild lettuce, so look up wild lettuce. You'll see that it's like the gnarly weed that everybody's like, throw that away. But hey, guess what? Wild lettuce is really great for anxiety. It's great for just, it's like people, raise this up here. People need something to kind of come down at the end of the day. I know my husband does. He works until like 10 at night, as a chef at a big restaurant, and it takes him a couple of hours to like slow down, come down from the adrenaline that his job, creates for him. And so I'm like, oh, that's why the wild lettuce is here, is for my husband, right? In the last house that I lived in, mullein everywhere. I'm like, yes, I need the mullein. Mullein is one of my allies, definitely need the mullein. Also feverfew. So I make tinctures from the feverfew, cooking down the wild lettuce. So you chop it up, you have a crock pot, fill it up, let it cook all the way down. Then you strain the lettuce out of it, and then you fill it up with water and cook it down again. And then you have, so simple. Then you have a syrup. And I haven't made it yet, but I've learned about it. People say it doesn't taste that bad. You can mix it into your tea or something in the evening, and it helps with headaches. And it also, as I said, is a sedative. It helps you to calm. It helps you to come back down to earth, and maybe help you sleep even. Excuse me. Current teachings, dandelion are superfoods. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about superfoods, right? So, this is such a huge topic, but the point is, what have you cultivated, right? What, like last night, for some reason, yesterday and last night, I was having a lot of cramps. And just the day before, I had seen a reel from I don't know if she's an herbalist or a naturopath or something, but she said if you're dehydrated, if you need minerals, you need to do something, you need to make coconut water or coconut water. No, yes, coconut water, but cucumber water, because cucumbers are filled with the electrolytes and there's minerals and natural salt and potassium, magnesium in freaking cucumbers, right? So she blended the cucumbers, she added coconut water. So she was making a very seriously hydrating drink, right? And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm growing cucumbers. Isn't that perfect?" And so literally last night my leg was cramping. I'm like, I'm about to go into the garden and get myself a cucumber and just eat a whole cucumber. So I didn't. I gave myself some Celtic sea salt and drank a full glass of water, and it subsided. But there's just so much nourishment for us here, and I'm incredibly, eternally grateful that I have arrived at this place in my life where I know these things, where I desire to learn as much as I can and educate myself and practice and grow new plants and try new things and just keep getting better at this, because I truly believe that it's the most valuable thing that we can do for ourselves. I feel like, we really are in this very powerful bifurcation where humanity is either going to focus on technology or focus on nature. And I don't know where you are on that, but you're probably quite aware of where I am on that. And so wonderful for us to connect in this way. Thank you all for being with me here today. Thank you for adding your prayers, your intentions into the P's. And do know that these prayers and intentions that we put into the earth really does affect everyone. Just like the work that you do on yourself, we all receive, we all benefit from. So thank you. Thank you for your prayers and intentions today. And thank you for being connected to yourself, to your higher self, and to nature, to the earth. I encourage you to take your shoes off today and touch the earth with your skin. Hug a tree. Maybe don't pick a flower. Just honor that flower and its life and leave it where it is. Of course, as I have my cut flowers right here. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, Maria. I love that. So, cucumber water. I'm sure he's probably just thinking of sliced cucumbers in water, which is also great. The best way. So without making like a blended drink. So the woman was making a blended drink, and then you filter it. What is the word? Donna, help me out. You put it through the colander, through the sieve. It's not filtering. What am I trying to think of? Anyway. And then you drink that, right? But if you actually chop up cucumbers and put them in your water and maybe put it in the fridge overnight, strain. Thank you. And then you put that in the water or in the fridge overnight. Next day, all of the medicine from the cucumbers are going to be in the water. And it's so good for you, very hydrating. Like, this is a great idea. I'm going to do this. Make sure I always have cucumber water in the fridge. And of course, goes without saying, make sure that your water is also spring water if you can. If it's filtered water, please put minerals back in your water. If you ever get like reverse osmosis or food water from the grocery store, anything like that, you need to add minerals back because all, you know, they're straining, right? They're filtering out of the chemicals and things like that, also filters out the minerals that you need. I know that if I am not drinking spring water, I get cramps. So I have to take care of myself in in multiple ways to make sure that I don't cramp. But just the very beginning of that is the quality of my water. Okay, my friends, one more song before we go. And this is a hymn of mine that I received many, many years ago. I just want to give you all so much love and gratitude. Thank you for being here with me, and happy harvest to all of you. Thank you for cultivating beauty and joy and love in your lives. Mm-hmm. My sister, I present you to my mother. My sister, I present you to my father. My sister, I present you to my family. My brothers and my sisters are with me. My sister, I present you to my family. My brothers and my sisters are with me. My sister, I present you to my garden. My sister, I present you to the earth. Sitting here upon the sacred mother, the blessings and the love all come from her. Sitting here upon the sacred mother, the blessings and the love all come from her. Guided by divine beings, shining light envelops us. We have arrived to the golden room. The heart of Sophia welcomes us. We have arrived to the golden room. The heart of Sophia welcomes us. She's here to reveal the secret truths when you place her rose upon your heart, healing all the sacred pains from the divine path will never part. Healing all the sacred pains from the divine path will never part. I love you all so much. Happy Lunasa. Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful day and the rest of your week. We'll see you soon.